It's the mindset. Free your mind, free your mind. Mindset. Free your mind, free your mind. Hey, not everything that glitter is gold. Not everything that's white is snow. On the mindset, I just start let them know, let them know, let them know. Oh, words from the wise. I just start, we will never lie. Stand tall, we will never die. We'll forever shine. I just star, shine like the star in the sky. Some hate, some love.
Like if spice up your life now with drama. It's the natural of the living where they on, yeah. Them need steady stability, structure for a while. For anything they establish, no, not to boil. For anything they establish, not to boil and docile. In vision, well inclined of some kind to provide. The weaker unity, I go lose more time. Half of the bigger picture ganja take off them, yeah. Half of the holy ganja, them a fight, yeah. Well, how much time I'm texting, psychoticking online. Seekers, the mass numbers of same kind. Grouped all together and easy to find. Virtual on the screen, yeah, no one reading the mind. That's a look at how some thoughts are synchronized. Feel us to seek out their sentiment in kind. Multiplicity mission and objective take shape and rise. The traffic was too far and too wide to subside. To them want to know how I come in and out go. Epidemic quarantine you in a virus and so. Want to know how the deadly state of things get so. Want to how the healthy state of things get to know. Them will steal when knowledge for that them have to do. Smuggling technology to stay connected to the iPhone. Everything now are denied, but they need the medium and the guide. First they were ignorant, but now they advancing upon it. Some nations advancing the national respect for knowledge. Some falling off a shape in a comparative ranking. Just turn on the talking and hear the pundit and them a panic. In the direction of weapon, the fear of implementing knowledge. How the rule and ravage, no one drink of astonish. Some kind of moral structure, chaos and a rule upon it. Them things said them love it until the deficit catch up upon it. A hypocritic, cynic editorial, them logical. In vision well inclined of some kind to provide. The weaker unity are gonna lose more time. Half of the bigger picture gonna take off them, yeah. Half of the holy ganja them a fight, Humanity is all of sharing and loving and longing and belonging. Analyzing obstacles and intelligently overcoming them. Fraudulently mistaken ideologies not becoming. Must be refuted for the common good to flourish. When interrelated needs have an integral knowledge of what is needed for the flow and for the flourish. That's how the sources become resource re-needed. Must bring it again, yeah, how the manners completed. In the ebb and the flow, the come and the go. What the mumma them and know, what the things calling for. People take it serious, what coming and no go. A vision well inclined of some kind to provide. The weaker unity are gonna lose more time. Half of the bigger picture can go take off them, yeah. Half of the holy ganja them a fight, Half of the holy ganja them a fight,
Check. Blessed love, pleasant good evening, good afternoon. Warm welcome mindset program. I just am your host. Want to greet the item in the divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor E. Selassie the First, Empress Menin the First. Warm welcome. One more day above ground. As we know, no greater than that. Yeah, man, sounds of Van Benjamin. And before that, Hold up, music one start play. Yeah, give thanks. And before that, it was Honorable Priest from 10 Miles Bull Bay from the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress, chanting on the golden altar of Melchizedek. Yeah, so we give thanks to the 7 priests and the golden altar early out, you know. Yeah. Give thanks, you know, for everyone we're there with today. Want to look on a few things, you know what I mean, where being overlooked, I would say. Seeing as there, them can see the title of the program. And today is a program where we want people to, you know, call in and interact with us. Zine. Yes, it's good to, you know, interact also in the chat room, but, you know, would I love people to call in today and, yeah, make a reason upon this thing. Yeah, see me, because a whole pan millions of pounds we say a go round, and it seems like it is probably going in the wrong hands or it's going in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Yeah, probably going in the wrong direction. Because we see over history and time that some of the ones they're not trustworthy. It's not even for say they're you know anything else, but most of them is not trustworthy. And we're looking at Rwanda, Zane. We're looking at Rwanda today. Rwanda come up in the scope for obvious reasons, which is this whole refugee and asylum seeking from the UK, you know, and Rwanda, them say are gonna be like a hub for the processing of, you know, people who are travel from, you know, desolate place where them life in danger and them a seek refuge in England. Now them say Rwanda. Why Rwanda? Out of all the places them in a Europe or even I don't know America. Out of all the places them. I guess it's probably because I don't know if it's more Africans that are, you know, making that asylum journey to England. I don't know if I can call it that or refugee journey. You know what I mean? And then when them reach upon the shores of England, you know, them seek asylum because probably that is, you know, what they really, you know, seeking. You know, they're you know, escaping from danger. Just like how we see a whole part danger and thing go around the place right now, and all the people in England open up them place, you know what I mean, and accepting these people that are fleeing from, you know, war, crime, and dangerous place. And, you know, they are being accepted with open arms here in the UK. See? So, I don't know now, all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because of that influx of, you know, people from elsewhere, why, you know, this thing come up now. But Rwanda is, you know, Rwanda, them troubles, you know what I mean, from in the early 90s, you know, with the Utsis and the Tutsis and so on. And, you know, that was classified as as a genocide. You know what I mean? African killing Africans. Seeing? And some people went to prison for that. Seeing? And Rwanda has somehow miraculously have uplift themselves from that degradation there. Zena now is one of Africa fast growing they call it now, economically. You know what I mean? They're one of the best African countries economically right now. Now, Rwanda is growing, and Rwanda, you know, we see a lot of videos on Rwanda recently, you know, stating these facts that they're one of the best growing African country in terms of their finance. Zine. So if that is the case, and you know, Africans are trying to uplift themselves now and better themselves and better them country, why is it that you would want to now send people who are, you know, fleeing from war-torn places, you know what I mean? Some might be criminals, you don't know. And, you know, if you put them in a Rwanda and it doesn't, to how it doesn't look like it's just African refugees. It look like it's any refugees who are coming now. Any refugees. And they're going to send them to Rwanda to process. Now they're paying Rwanda millions or even billions if you do that. It's not just, yeah, Rwanda going to deal with this for Britain. Britain is paying them billions based on what I hear. Yeah, billions to do that. Is that a sellout move or is just business for Rwanda? It could just be business for Rwanda. You know what I mean? And, you know, they're going to have a proper holding facility where probably these refugees and asylum seekers, you know, they don't get the chance to venture out in normal society in Rwanda. Could that be the case? And it's just a business thing where Rwanda is benefiting from doing business with England. Or it is more than that. I don't know. I feel it is more a business thing. I don't know how the item see it, Zane, but the item can make me know how the item see it. I see it as more as a business venture for Rwanda. Zane, is not because Rwanda seems to be one of the better places or low crime and them thing that Tanzania is also similar, you know. So is it just a business thing I go on? Is it just a business Africa I do with the Europeans? I would have loved to know if it's just a business thing because I don't know, them hype up the virgin here. Zane, the president, because he's at the forefront of everything that is going on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the president of Rwanda has one pluridet from former Prime Minister Tony Blair and David Cameron, despite branded despot and blame for human rights abuse. Paul Kamgame, 64, has sold Rwanda a success story in developing a world over 3 decades. He has quoted foreign leaders and royalties, including a 2020 meeting with Prince William at Buckingham Palace. Getting somewhere. To win praise as a dynamic and progressive president, his government has also spent millions of pounds brushing up Rwanda image by sponsoring Premier League team Arsenal. Wow. This is quite intriguing, man. This is quite intriguing. I don't know all the items to this, but this is quite intriguing. But critics claim he is guilty of murderous what is now? Unauthorization, which has enabled him to remain in power for 28 years. He led the militia group who ended the 1994 genocide in Rwanda, which saw more than 500,000 people massacred. Then U.S. government Bill Clinton said that Kagame was one of the greatest leaders of our time. Lord Blair called him a visionary, and Mr. Cameron said his regime was a role model for development. But in recent years, negative stories have overshadowed his country's economic success. Last December, Paul Rosina Bugini, some of them wrote that, Rosina Bogina, the inspiration for the era character in Hollywood film Hotel Rwanda, was sentenced to 25 years in prison for allegedly funding a terrorist group. Funding a terrorist group, really? His family branded it a show trial. The former hotel boss turned opposition leader and been praised for shielding thousands of potential genocide victims in 1994. But his critics, Rwanda human rights abuse after Kagame came to power. Kagame intelligence services have also been suspected of killing critics abroad, but none of the intelligence has been proven. Some serious thing are going on, man. When our critics, Colonial Patrick Carriga, was murdered in a hotel in South Africa in 2014, Kagame said, "When you choose to live like a dog, you die like a dog." Wow, seriously. A recent book claimed the Metropolitan Police provide protection for Rwandan opposition figure threatened in London. Okay, I see. Kagame is known for his luxurious lifestyle and travel in a 50 million exclusive wait there. 50 million executive jet and an armor belt range rover worth an estimate of £300,000. His son Ivan sit on the board of Rwandan investment agency and live in a $5 million Beverly Hills mansion. You talk about Africans, them live large. You talk about seriously. See, so this is a virgin where Prime Minister, the President of Rwanda, and as we can hear, we make some serious visit and meetings with these people. So I don't know if all of them meetings that the deal did a cement up, cause things where you see just happen, so is not just happen overnight. These things have been planned. You know what I mean? Planned. But is a man where always kind of have the West aware. It's like him not really take much talk from the West. Me always hear him like I run with the West and I tell the West if it's stay out of their business and, allow Africans to, deal with Africans' business. So, I don't know, backlash, me see whole backlash people as a sellout, is a sellout move. Then that him would have something like that in our country. I don't know how the eye them see it if it's a sellout move. I see it as a business venture. That is how I see it, because if them collect so much millions, it must be business for them. It has to be business. You know what I mean? It has to be business. But in all that business, because in all honesty and fairness, we can't wrong Rwanda for one to do business. Zane, we can't wrong them because them I get paid, and when I say because them I get paid and every money good still, but them I do business. Right? Them I do business. So, but on the other hand, with all these billions that is being sent to Rwanda, and you have Africans in the diaspora here that has been agitating for years. What about our repatriation and reparation money? What about these things? Why are we ignored? Why are we being ignored? Why are we being overlooked? See? And for refugees and asylum seekers, you can pay Rwanda billions. Why is it the Rwandan government not asking about what about his brothers and sisters that was taken illegally to the West, and they've been agitating to come back home and for assistance in doing so? What about them? When I give you all this money, what about them? Why this virgin is not asking these questions? Or that is going to be something that going to mash up his business and profit. So he wouldn't dare ask about such thing. How the eye them see it? How the eye them see it? The number upon the top of the screen that the eye them can link me upon the WhatsApp. Zane, we're taking calls on this today. How the eye them see it? Because I don't know. I can't really say, boy, I got blame. I got say, boy, them wrong. Them are the business. And yes, them should collect their money there. You see? Them should collect their money there. Because we are owed that money anyway. Some people are going to say, oh, but a long time that. And our ancestors did do that. And never we who there today did do that. So we who there today, we not own nothing. And we not apologize to you about nothing. And we not going no money for nothing. If we want to go home, Africa, we go on. Nobody na hold, you know. Nobody na tie on a down. And I go on. The ones them who are benefit from trading or stealing Africans, them are benefit from the legacy of that today. Virgin like Boris. You know what I mean? They're benefiting from that today. After that legacy. Free labor, capture Africans, put them into slavery, work them. Zin? Work them. They're all benefiting from it. So why is that being overlooked? What? The Africans them round here, sir, who build up round here, sir, them not work that? After all the suffering and toil and pain and them don't work that? Them more than worth it, man. Them more than worth it. But here are our problem, you know. Because we have a problem, you know, as simple as we see it going. You know. We have a problem, you know. And we slowly but surely overcoming, you know. Yeah, we surely but surely overcoming. But here what is our problem? Our problem is we don't have no unity. We don't have no unity. And that's our problem, you know. We don't have any unity amongst ourselves. So even though we slowly overcoming, you see if we did unite and organize, nobody wouldn't, I say we are even put up title and ask about what about repatriation money and reparation money. We would no. People would have fling stone on the channel and say, I just what kind of embarrassment, you make we look small, man. You know, but we not organize and we not centralize. We not unite, we not unite. And that is our biggest problem. Zin? Many people say they are not from Africa and slavery is a lie. Yeah, me know. Them people are sick in them head. Them people are sick in them head. Them is just the same as the people them where I say, boy, for them people, for them forefathers didn't have anything to do with slavery. And them is not their forefathers. You see me? So them now have to apologize about anything and them now have to pay for anything. That is how some of those African or some of them black people that they're like that. Furious. You see me? Empress Judah, bless up. Empress K, Daniel Taylor, manners and respect. You see me? They're like that. So when them so here what I could have crazy so for how much years we as a boy we're supposed to be compensated and we're supposed to, get some form of reparation Zane, a crazy we crazy so for how much years we have said this? No, it's not crazy we crazy. It's because we know it's true. We know what happened to us. The history is there. It's nothing that is being hidden. You know what I mean? You have landmarks where you can go to there in a certain place in America and you see certain things. Zane? Set place in a Jamaica too. Set place in Africa. So what? In a judgment ball, Ghana, Elmina Castle. Zane, gate of no return. A fake that is fake. And make them make up that. That is not make up. That is there. It's factual. It's truth. So some of them black people or African people where I say, boy, that never go on, them mad, them crazy. Zane, them thing they happen. And if them thing they never happen, Zane, if them thing, you say if that didn't happen, then who you think would be governing this whole judgment ball thing if them thing they never happen? It would be I and I. Zane would be governing everything and making sure that everything is running under order. Everybody satisfied. Everybody satisfied. It's not one set of people that because we are the ones who are governed, we make sure say, boy, we have everything and the rest of people them don't have. No. We have, everybody have. Because that is how we are as a people up until today, even in our struggles and sufferation. That is how we are. That is our nature, to share. We are caring people. So we will share with you. But because we're so caring and so nice, seeing, people take that for granted. People take it for granted. That is what happened. And that is what is happening up until today. Rwanda is the next Congo was colonialized by Belgium. Reality. See? Millions of pounds. Millions of pounds are spent on something. Millions of pounds. Now, I want to play a thing where, me hear this Virginia did I say earlier. See, make we hear what you must say. What about thing you must say? But yeah, make we hear what the Prime Minister of this place here, the UK, was saying earlier.
Sanctuary for his outspoken Turkey in fear of his life, because our country offered sanctuary for his outspoken journalism. And when you look back over the centuries, as people have come seeking refuge or simply in search of somewhere to build a better life, you see that this is the very stuff our history is made of. From the French Huguenots to the Jewish refugees from Tsarist Russia, to the docking of the Empire Windrush, to the South Asians fleeing East Africa, to the many, many others who have come from different countries at different times for different reasons. All have wanted to be here because our United Kingdom is a beacon of openness and generosity. And all, in turn, have contributed magnificently to the amazing story of the UK. Today, that proud history of safe and legal migration is ultimately responsible for many of those working in our hospitals and on the front line of our response to the pandemic, for more than 60% of the England football team at the final of Euro 2020, for many of our country's leading figures in the worlds of business, art and culture. And I'm pleased to say, for ever-growing numbers of people serving in public life, including colleagues of mine, like Nadim Zahawi, who escaped with his family from Saddam Hussein's Iraq, Dominic Raab, whose Jewish father came to Britain from Czechoslovakia to escape Nazi Germany, and Priti Patel, whose family fled persecution in Uganda. So I'm proud that this government has continued the great British tradition of providing sanctuary to those in need. In fact, doing more to resettle vulnerable people in the UK through safe and legal routes than any other government in recent history. Since 2015, we've offered a place to over 185,000 men, women and children seeking refuge, more than the entire population of Sunderland, and more than any other similar resettlement schemes in Europe. This includes almost 100,000 British nationals overseas threatened by draconian security laws in Hong Kong, 20,000 through our Syrian scheme, 13,000 from Afghanistan and to whom we owe debts of honor, and around 50,000 Ukrainians. And we're not only supporting British nationals and those settled in the UK to bring potentially hundreds of thousands to their extended family from Ukraine, we're also welcoming unlimited numbers of refugees from that conflict as the British people open their homes in one of the biggest movements of refugees to this country that we've ever known. And as we work with local authorities and the devolved administrations to welcome those coming from Ukraine into our communities, we will also find accommodation across our whole UK for all those who have come here previously but who are currently in hotels, because it makes absolutely no sense for the taxpayer to foot those bills running to almost £5 million a day, with the sum total of those we accommodate being concentrated in just a third of local authorities. It is controlled immigration through safe and legal routes which enables us to make generous offers of sanctuary while managing the inevitable pressures on our public services, such that we can give all those who come here the support they need to rebuild their lives, to integrate and to thrive. But the quid pro quo for this generosity is that we cannot sustain a parallel illegal system. Our compassion may be infinite, but our capacity to help people is not. We can't ask the British taxpayer to write a blank check to cover the costs of anyone who might want to come and live here. Uncontrolled immigration creates unmanageable demands on our NHS and on our welfare state. It overstretches our local schools, our housing and public transport, and creates unsustainable pressure to build on precious green spaces. Nor is it fair on those who are seeking to come here legally if others can bypass the system. It's a striking fact that around 7 out of 10 of those arriving in small boats last year were men under 40, paying people smugglers to queue jump and taking up our capacity to help genuine women and child refugees. This is particularly perverse, as those attempting crossings are not directly fleeing imminent peril, as is the intended purpose of the asylum system. They've passed through manifestly safe countries, including many in Europe, where they could and should have claimed asylum. It is this rank unfairness of a system that can be exploited by gangs, which risks eroding public support for the whole concept of asylum. The British people voted several times to control our borders, not to close them, but to control them. So just as Brexit allowed us to take back control of legal immigration by replacing free movement with our points-based system, we're also taking back control of illegal immigration. with a long-term plan for asylum in this country. It is a plan that will ensure the UK has a world-leading asylum offer, providing generous protection to those directly fleeing the worst of humanity by settling thousands of people every year through safe and legal routes. And I emphasize this. So whether you're fleeing Putin or Assad, our aim is that you should not need to turn to the people smugglers or any other kind of illegal option. But to deliver that, we must first ensure that the only route to asylum in the UK is a safe and legal one, and that those who try to jump the queue or abuse our system will find no automatic path to settlement in our country, but rather be swiftly and humanely removed to a safe third country or their country of origin. And the most tragic of all forms of illegal migration, which we must end with this approach, is the barbaric trade in human misery conducted by the people smugglers in the Channel. Before Christmas, 27 people drowned, and in the weeks ahead, there could be many more losing their lives at sea, and whose bodies may never be recovered. Around 600 came across the Channel yesterday. In just a few weeks, this could again reach 1,000 a day. I accept that these people, whether they're 600 or 1,000, are in search of a better life, the opportunities that the United Kingdom provides, and the hope of a fresh start. But it is these hopes, those dreams, that have been exploited. These vile people smugglers are abusing the vulnerable and turning the Channel into a watery graveyard, with men, women and children drowning in unseaworthy boats and suffocating in refrigerated lorries. And even if they do make it here, we know only too well some of the horrendous stories of exploitation over the years, from the nail bars of East London to the cocklebeds of Morecambe Bay, as illegal migration makes people more vulnerable to the brutal abuse of ruthless gangs. So, we must halt this appalling trade and defeat the people smugglers. That's why we're passing the Nationality and Borders Bill, which allows us for the first time to distinguish between people coming here legally and illegally. And for this distinction to affect how your asylum claim progresses and your status in the UK if that claim is successful. It will enable us to issue visa penalties against those countries that refuse to accept returns of foreign criminals and failed asylum seekers. It will clean up the abuse of our legal system, introducing a one-stop shop that will end the cycle of last-minute and vexatious claims and appeals that so often thwart and delay removals. And it will end the absurd practice of asylum-seeking adults claiming to be children to strengthen their claims and access better services. Crucially, it will also allow us to prosecute those who arrive illegally with life sentences for anyone piloting the boats, and to identify, intercept, and investigate these boats. From today, the Royal Navy will take over operational command from Border Force in the Channel, taking primacy for our operational response at sea, in line with many of our international partners, with the aim that no boat makes it to the UK undetected. This will be supported by £50 million of new funding for new boats, aerial surveillance and military personnel, in addition to the existing task force of patrol vessels, Wildcat helicopters, search and rescue aircraft, drones.
Drastically resistant to Rome. Drastically resistant to Rome. Yeah. Whoa. Redemption through the blood is a life sentence. Can't get original blood through no repentance. Man, they are in a Abaddon abyss. I lick down elephants. All with thy name gone, thy blood convinced. Drastically drastically resistant to roam. Drastically resistant to roam. Drastically resistant to roam. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we must stop run down Rome and then sitting.
Redemption through the blood is a life sentence. Can't get original blood through no repentance. Man, they are in a abadan abyss. I lick down elephants. All with thy name gone, thy blood convinced. Drastically resistant to roam. Drastically.
The man said a safe and third party. Zane, a safe even a third place. Not even a second place, you know, the man said a third place. Zane, a third place. That is the link where the I did ask me about with the virgin I was reading earlier, Furious. Yeah. Zane?
In a lying pathologic epidemic, the sermon is a dead threat clinic. Talking about the devil's system and them working for it. Man who's standing up against it getting hurt for it. But I drastically resistant to Rome. Drastically resistant to Rome. Drastically resistant to brush and comb. Yeah. Whoa. Hold your honorable mention citation. Every time them see the God man is intricate simplicity articulation. Because of human concept limitation. Rastafari Jah Black is the first covenant. Rastafari Jah Black is the first covenant. Well, what's in the world? And the world was made by him. First man eternal without brush and comb. Me want talk the language and me want go home. Rastafari drastically resistant to Rome. Drastically resistant to Rome. Yeah. Redemption to the blood is a life sentence. Can't get original blood through no repentance. Man, they don't get in a abadan abyss. I lick down hell fence. All with thy name gone, I blood convince. Redemption to the blood is a life sentence. Can't get original blood through no repentance. Man, they are down here in a abadan abyss. I lick down hell fence. All with thy name gone, I blood convince. Yeah, yeah, I stay, yeah, drastically resistant to Rome.
Only love would say all the day, all the way, all the day. What the ratio you say, what the measurement to say. The angels are at play, perfection and beauty, all the way. What the soldiers say, precision and accuracy, relief and walk at liberty, all the way, all the day. What the topography and the flora and the fauna say, the ratios 5 on each year. The intervals of excellency all the way, all the day. Oh yeah. Orchestration and a musical aid. Reflection of the golden mean. The diameter of a circle by way. The cannabinoids on the brain highway. All the day, all the way, all the day, all the day. The eye see and the tongue say, but not all the way. Perception can be silently, 90% unspoken, 10% might say, oh yeah. Each mind is a galaxy, all the way, all and the infinite. Debater over the Prince of God. Michael and Gabriel over Antichrist. All the time. All the time. All the time. Inquire in the house of Judas for a man called Saul. And no one noticed much at all. Country to country and wall to wall. Not much at all. But overall, all the way, all the day. What the ratios say. The angels are at play. Perfection and beauty. All the day.
What can we do? Or we only can just there, sir, and, you know, beat up our gum, you know what I mean, about these issues, you know. But what can we do? What really are going to, you know, happen from, you know, from all of this? You see me? Are we going to be still overlooked, Zane, when it comes to repatriation, reparation? Are we going to be still overlooked? You see it? Because we're not seeing a shift and move towards that. And it will come a time where we're going to have to stop even probably talk about that. Zane, and actually do what Marcus Garvey said we're supposed to do. Why we are going to depend on somebody else to do that we can do? Of course, we know we don't have a level playing field. We know that. The odds is always against I and I as a people. See? We know that. But what? We not going to continue. I said, boy, these guys for pay away, them for pay away, and them for pay away, and them not pay away. Better we just make a way for ourselves. Better we just make a way for ourselves, because them a tell we say them a do this, them not tell we say them a do nothing. You see me, we see Jamaica government send petition, say them want compensation, zine for slavery, and all these type of things. But where does that go? You know what I mean? That come out in our last year. Queen grandson come there one day. When him asks about these things, him have nothing tangible to tell the people. Him have nothing tangible to say about it. See it? So where we go from Yassa, we are going to still like, because the reality is, you know, everybody today, all who under some little cruff, Zane and sit down and nah, do nothing for themselves. The reality is everybody today is working to better themselves. So why we can't use that? Why we can't use that and a collective and better ourselves as a people? That we not have to ask no one for nothing. Because the reality is we don't want nothing from no one, you know. We don't want nothing from no one. We have everything already. You see me I say? Everything where everybody enjoy right now in the West. Because them I say them don't want the people them come, them want to control them borders because the people them vote for that. And them people where come, I feel them think them a live off of. Most of the people them will run from Africa and want to come a Europe. And the African things them a live off of. And them show it on the African them TV, say, yeah, them place a better off to live. So most Africans, or some Africans, feel like, say, boy, yeah, them place is a better place. So them a go want to come here, so. You see me? Cause is a no one better place. Better place, them say. Them say America the big apple. Everybody want a slice off of it. See it? England are the place them say you can get things for free. You see it? So everybody want to come here, sir. But the Virgin mentioned the Windrush people them who came here. And I don't even know how he managed to even mention Windrush. Because the scandal that came out under his government and nothing have been done to resolve that whole situation up to now. That just gets scraped under the carpet. And black people have to just sup it up, because what them are going to do? They're not organized, they're not united. Everybody bad mind them one another. Everybody jealous of them one another. See it? So what is to be done? The people them not going and look upon you because you're not organized. Them have it to say black and black crime or violence. The youth that entrench in the youth them in the black community. Black and black crime. And if you're having black and black crime at that number, then obviously there's no unity. There's obviously no unity amongst us. Because we kill ourselves, we go behind bars, we come out, we kill ourselves, we go behind bars, we come out, That is what I say we have. So we have a whole heap of work. You say even pay is supposed to be better abroad. Yeah, so them say. So them say, my general. You see me? So them say. But how much people can give a test to that and say, yeah, that is actually true. How much people?
Billions in the sky and everyone a star. Some infinite power create them all near and far. Without of the poverty everywhere you are. Just basic sustenance and penalty without utterance. And realness in repetition mean trust in a good governance. Whether it's get a transaction or official pay mission. For a eat them will say from the coast to the inland. Strong arm colleges still require knowledges. Anything you do why still have to be solid is? Them worse no one no trip up and no mess up in a criminal business. Anything you're talking about, why still have to be Chris? Or anyone at all to put trust in it, yeah. Loyalty and allegiance overall still matter. No matter what you join or who you flatter, what a follow. Still have to do good at it to do well in any matter. Why not please Rastafari and make things better, yeah. Something useful within purpose must come together, yeah. Dazzle them the poor about who's doing better. Watch it in the children of important people. They never think it out enough. Always shocked when the real force oppose. Always trivialize in public and in private joke. Even when the thing is heinous and it's better that people know. Of us what go before and what come behind. Once a man, 3 times a child. That's when man come man and they still acting child. Mount Sinai. Girls come woman with their foolish guile. Don't care how this affect entire life. Trick of a child who turned to homicide. From the beginning it was choice with a problem choice. Jah mercy I do it forever even in human voice. Still up in the right heights with drinks to keep the people nice. Hey. Tidings of the rule of the earth, King Selassie. Spill over juices and boil over malices. Happening in a tenement as well as in a palaces. Who could that be as was astounded, astonished? Never be the same again, the place where them worries is. Oh yeah. So, billions in the sky and everyone a star. Same infinite power create them all a near and afar. Rid out of the poverty everywhere you are. Just basic sustenance and penalty without utterance. And realness in repetition will mean trust in a good governance. Whether it's get a transaction or official pay mission. Or a eat them will save from the coast to inland. Strong arm colleges still require knowledges. Anything you do, why still have to be solid is? Them rest no one no trip up and no mess up in a criminal business. Anything you're talking about, one still have to be Chris. Or anyone at all to put them trust in it, yeah. Billions in the sky and everyone a star. Same infinite power create them all name and the fire.
All away a star. See? Yeah. Yeah, man. Sounds like Van Benjamin. Yeah, Akibeka. Midnight. Infinite power. All away a star, but them a try to suppress the star them. You see? Yeah, them a try to suppress the star them because if send all of them people now to Rwanda, you know, it look away why you would choose Rwanda and not, you know, a place in Europe. Why not a place in Europe? Why Rwanda? And as me say, you can't blame Rwanda because Rwanda probably see it as a business. You know what I mean? Why Rwanda? After so much years, Rwanda is doing so much good. Rwanda is doing so much good after so much years. And you now decide, so what? You want for what? Because it could be a plot for bring down Uganda. Or Rwanda, I should say. Rwanda. You see me? Yeah. Could possibly be a plot. Could possibly be a plot for bring down the place because the place is the only place in Africa them say that is a better place to send the people them. Seriously. Yeah, people are not easy at all. Not easy at all. Yeah. Them not easy. Them can't easy. Because with all of them money, them still are taking other people, you know. Yeah, them still are taking other people. Still are taking other people, but them don't want to take in the Africans. Why? Why them don't want to take in the Africans? It's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. All right. For sure, say Rwanda. Whenever even did want to play that virgin thing, you know. But all right. Them say Rwanda boom. See, it's a reason. It's a reason. Let's play this.
Want to know how to find the cheapest flights on Kayak? Head to Kayak, enter your origin and destination.
Rwanda's national...
All right. I'll just bring up something here, sir. And let we play this thing. Rwanda, why Rwanda? You know, out of everybody. Look away.
Colors of blue, green and yellow light up the capital, giving Kigali a festive look as the $300 million Kigali Convention Center stands out in the city's impressive skyline. Not only is it East Africa's biggest convention center, but it also represents something much bigger. It is a perfect exemplification of prosperity and national pride for a country that has sprung back from a devastating genocide in 1994, where almost 1 million people lost their lives, leaving a debris of economic ruin. Today, this small, hilly and landlocked nation is not just punching above her weight, she's emerged as a model of economic development, termed by some as a third world country with fast world indicators. Rwanda stands out for many good things. This country goes toe-to-toe with some of the world's most developed nations in categories such as ease of doing business and the corruption index. If you'd like to have some better understanding of Africa, start now by subscribing and hit the little red bell on the side to get notified every time we post. Welcome to Reason Africa. Despite harrowing memories of the 1994 ethnic cleansing, Rwanda has witnessed a remarkable economic transformation in recent years and has become one of the most successful knowledge-based economies on the African continent. Its achievements are often described as nothing short of miraculous. It has become the country to look out for in terms of investment opportunities, value for money, and economic growth. So much so that it is touted as being on the fast lane to become a first world country. To definitively say this, we must first look to understand the meaning of first world and third world countries. The origin of the terms is usually credited to French demographer Alfred Sauvy, who used the terms in a 1952 article entitled 3 Worlds, 1 Planet. In the original context, First World included the United States and its capitalist allies, member states of NATO, in places such as Western Europe, Japan, and Australia. The Second World consisted of the Communist Soviet Union and its Eastern European neighbors. The Third World, meanwhile, encompassed all the other countries that were not actively aligned with either side in the Cold War. These were often impoverished countries that included nearly all nations of Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and Asia. Today, the terms have evolved. Third world countries are also referred to as low and middle income countries, while first world countries could also be referred as more developed countries or MDCs. Of the 54 African countries, about 19 are represented on the world's poorest list. Three factors determine whether or not a country makes the cut to be classified as a first world country: the gross domestic product and economic stability, political stability, and data from the Human Development Index are also taken into consideration.
The first factor to consider in Rwanda's rapid transformation:
GDP and economic stability. Rwanda does not rank among the richest countries in Africa, but there's a reason why this tiny East African nation has become Africa's poster child for progress. In the year 2000, the government established Vision 2020, a long-term development strategy with the main objective to transform Rwanda into a middle-income country by 2020, based on a thriving private sector. Since then, the Rwandan economy has been growing steadily at 7% every year, earning a reputation as one of Africa's fastest growing economies. The government has undertaken policies to improve competitiveness, diversify food production, promote exports, and contain imports. Thanks to this growth, Rwanda has been able to pull at least 1 million citizens out of poverty between 2000 and 2015, making it one of the few African nations on track to achieving the UN-backed Sustainable Development Goals. The share of people classified as poor has fallen by 7% points since 2011 to 38% in 2017. The country's economy is projected to grow at 7.8% in 2019 and 8% in 2020, supported by export growth resulting from continued public investments such as the Busegera Airport, targeting to handle 1.7 million passengers every year and will be later upgraded to accommodate 4.5 million passengers annually, thereby making Rwanda an important aviation hub and a fierce rival to many of Africa's premier airports and carriers like Ethiopian Airlines, South African, and Kenya Airways. The airline plans to fly to 31 destinations all across Africa. Other planned routes include long-haul destinations such as New York, Tel Aviv, and Gwangju. Benchmarking on the growth strategy of successful airlines like Emirates, Singapore, and Qatar, Rwanda is keen on aviation's growing significance as a major engine of economic development and its far-reaching contributions to other industries as a catalyst for economic activity. Rwanda's GDP per capita in 1994 was $146. In 2017, it stood at $774 and is projected to have reached around $1,000 by the end of 2020. According to the International Monetary Fund, a whopping 82% jump in GDP per capita. Very few countries can boast of such rapid growth. The country has also reduced reliance on foreign aid and currently domestically funds about 84% of the budget, up from about 36% 2 decades ago. Studies have shown that nations that make serious economic progress focus on growing the average income of their citizens. For example, Japan focused on this between 1950 and 1972 and doubled its GDP per capita. The second factor to consider a country as first world is political stability. It's not easy to talk about Rwanda without talking about President Paul Kagame. His leadership style has played a major role in terms of the political stability the country is enjoying. Kagame previously commanded the rebel force that ended the 1994 genocide. He was considered Rwanda's de facto leader when he served as Vice President and Minister of Defense from 1994 to the year 2000. He has been widely described as the most impressive and among the most repressive African leaders, which begs the question, is Rwanda's Paul Kagame a strongman, a technocrat, or a little bit of both? And how has he contributed to Rwanda's stability? Many African economies are known for mining natural resources or being agrarian in nature. Kagame chose to take Rwanda on a different path by choosing to diversify exports and sources of revenue, making services the country's linchpin earner. Thanks to investment in both soft and hard infrastructure, such as the State-of-Art Convention Center in 2018, the International Congress and Convention Association ranked Kigali as the third most popular conference and event destination on the continent after Cape Town in South Africa and Casablanca of Morocco. By 2020, Rwanda is projected to double its revenue from conference tourism, and investors have been paying attention. Marriott, Radisson Blu, Park Inn, Serena, among others, are set to increase investments and create thousands of jobs in the country's promising hospitality industry. Kagame's can-do mindset has put Rwanda on a growth trajectory thanks to the Made in Rwanda strategy in a bid to promote consumption of locally produced goods as well as stabilize the local currency. One notable sector to benefit from this is tech.
Yeah. Yeah, so a bit of information. Yes, sir.
Search helps us understand each other.
I didn't even, until I read.
Please. Yeah, please. Yeah. So we can see where going that, Rwanda is doing very well. You know what I mean? Yeah, doing very well. Love from Toronto, manners and respect. Yeah, man, crypto. Yeah, bless up. Very well. So I guess them would have all reason to, want to be doing something like what they're doing now. You see me? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. That's why you would have want to figure up, want to get Africans who they are saying at the diaspora. Want to aid them for go home, back. But you'd rather spend this money, give Uganda this money. You see me? Boy, I hold for money and things, they see them a run from the other day. Hold for money and things. Yeah, hold for money and things, And the thing is, African people have to just open up them eyes to what really are going on, because now I say some people, them open up them doors wide. You know what I mean? Wide. And them say the Africans them are coming on the boats them every day, and sometimes some not make it in. Some drown, boat capsize and everybody drown and all of them things there. Is it? Who make it to shore, make it to shore. So Africans have to be wise and just know say, we better them stay in them place, cause them still are gonna get sent back to Africa, whether them like it or not. Yeah. That's the business that Rwanda is doing. It's a serious thing, it's a serious thing, man. Serious thing. When I check it out. Yeah, well, something like that. You should not tell them, say, watch here. Our terms, not the terms that you are bringing. Because it just seems like England does say this is how it go and so it go. And them just accept it because all the money there on the table. But I don't know. People should have be upset over that. People should have really feel a way that Rwanda accept some money from the UK for, all refugees and asylum seekers for processing. Should that be a problem? But just ask a question, Should people get upset over that? Should people really get upset over that? You know, say, at least Rwanda collect some money. least. If them there do it for nothing, you that if you ask some questions still. But them a collect. And as you hear, they're all about finance, they're all about their economics. So anything we are gonna boost them economy, them are gonna do it because the thing I say a while ago, them take how much people out of poverty. How much people out of poverty start. So probably is a good move for them. How the eye them see it. We have half an hour left in the building, so you know what I mean. The eye them can call in. The number is at the top of the thing there. 07852923892. There them can link up on the WhatsApp. Let we hear your views and thoughts. And what they are reason about the whole topic of the thing. People should have really upset over that. I see some of my brethren them a burn them out straight and I say boy them a sell out. Them sell out to the UK. You think it's a sellout move go on there, sir? Or is a calculated move? Look very calculated to me. Very calculated. Yeah. Very calculated, my people.
A new entrance in the world. Yes, she labored for you. Gave you to us, gave us to you. Your start alone shows what she went through. Tired out and cuddling with you. Just clean you up and who saved you? That simply means remove and renew. A temperament test, my heart is coming at you. For you to mold and shape the truth, yeah. There will be things that we all go through. That's already deep, that word on you. God bless every hand that itches into do. Tiny and you need everything done for you. Exquisite of heart is put into you. And she's special when that's always true. When that's always true that she loves you. Patient when that's always true. As long as she birthed you, she's your mother and that's always true. Sometimes wasn't born from her womb, but she took you. She put everything quiet, the sacred love. I can see her feeding as you should. Whoa, whoa. Give her her due, give her her credit. Give her her ISIS, grateful and real, for how she kept it, what she's committed to. Oh, she Trinity true, bring a heart of laughter, no stress, no gloom and blue. Rastafari renew, who haven't a clue. Jah know what to do, and so he gave it to you. Maintain it to do good, there be mindsets that will slew. Up on a thought, damaging what the good earth tried to do. Good will be followed through. Rastafari still preside in the overview. The overview. Yeah. Of what's best to do. Making good decisions, governing spirit still is how you choose. What you accept, what you refuse is similar and dissimilar type of news. Give her due, give her due, give her credit, give her eyes easy, grateful and real. For how she kept it, what she's committed to. How others do, a heart of care, by proof of what she do. Give her due. If she's like that, don't complain, they do. Blessed come through, abundance. When blessed come through, more blessings unto. Then give her due, give her due, give her credit, give her Isaac needs. Grateful and real, grateful and real. How she kept it, what she is committed to, who she Trinity through. Oh, Jaja, hear of the living ones. Can always swear as your judgment comes. The universe is a living one. Vengeance and tears among the healing ones. King Selassie, I hear, ever living one. Ever living one. Ever living one. Using swapping as a remedy for the killing, the defeat and ease, the approach and to appease the anger which is patrolling the social currents rising. Yeah, this nation's thinking. Transnational social conditional comparisons are on the scene. Laptop PC link up in a social media feeds. Fiber optic is diffusion, everything into your speech. And then they narrow down, just reach a lead upon their enemies, closing in. Yes, closing in. Oh, Jaja, hero, the living ones, can always swear of the living ones, can always swear as adjustment comes. The universe is a living one, vengeance and tears among the living ones. King Selassie, yeah, ever living one. Pain of the loved ones suffering, yeah. Man deep in exile for nothing. Haile Selassie, victorious win. Humble the British lions came to him. That's what set the world right now to this. The sound of reason overcome malice, genocide and panic. This is the leaders and the age they picked to manifest it and witness it. Oh, Jaja, hero of the living ones, can always swear as adjustment comes. The universe is a living one. Vengeance and tears among the hidden ones. King Selassie, yeah, a living one, ever living one.
Amhara, Amharic, Arabic, Aramaic, and American. Big cha-cha cool, pan a reclining throne in a Chaco Canyon, oriented to the conciliation of the lion. Blood the sacrifice in a worship like a Israeli ancient. To obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. So the sons of fish were already under admonition. But them separate and disperse it in a two kingdom. In the time of Rehoboam and Jeroboam, Judah and Benjamin seated in a throne in a Jerusalem. Manasseh and Ephraim in a coastland in a Mount Gerizim. In a contemporary tidings that is not African. In a modern year thing them left with 10 tribes strong. And them find them etymological association. Archaeological bias have it well long and well down. Chico in a Peru, even and Babylon, Mesopotamian. All four nations dominating commerce in the Levant. Meanwhile, Ethiopians at Macedon as a steady development. In a Sena, China, they were known as the sons of the sun. And a lioness generation, I got a black word sound, you know. Here a vibes, black a sound, you make the youth them come round. Call the ground, Rastafari make the youth come around. Up the gate to stand the ground, until the youth them draw around. Things would have push out our brown, your Rasta eyes is still sound. In a tenement worldwide as well as every uptown. Black a sound, you make the youth come around. Confucius and Buddha still have no commandment one. And them Anna written a different form that the days may be long. Tutatan and Scandan was the sons of Dan. In the Asian steppe Ethiopian Kahanton Khan. Moses elevated upon a staff the serpent the Hushtahan. Sociology and religion in a evolution. And it reach where Yahushua said it would inevitably reach everyone by him sending news out to every Gentile nation. The equality of societal order to every genome. And him tell them they would come again and sit up on the throne. And the word create him ranks into part unknown. In the beginning, Jah the Father sit the throne him alone. Him say him a the Alpha and Omega in a one word sound. And give rulership forever and to David crown. His ascent and descend the emperor. I listen and say the first was crowned. Jah know, yeah, Jah know. And a lion of generation a black red sound ya know. Hear a vibes, black a sound ya make the youth them come round. Call the ground, RASTAFARI make the youth them come round. Obligate to stand the ground, captive the youth them dry round. Put that church out top down the RASTAFARI.
We are the children of Jah. We are His dwelling place. We are the children of Jah. Children of Jah, look what our hands can make. Look what our minds can make. Until it's sci-fi and fake, it looks like non-biodegrade. Yeah, see now, we are the children of Jah. Look what our hands can make. Cities to the sky, Nimrod of Babylon say. Robot armies of a drone embrace. Robot armies of a drone embrace. Be a satellite cyber warfare at a hectic pace. There are some social ideals that must be replaced. They can already annihilate a race, human race. We are the children of Jah. Look what our thoughts can make. Acceleration of this space, yeah. Who made space race? Hey, the children of Jah. Children of Jah. We need to revere this place, preserve this place, maintain and keep our place. Earth, the whole earth. They only studied of the lightning and the thunder. Ignition and combustion way. Fire is the element of change. Children of Jah. Oh, children of Jah. Oh, children of Jah. Keep your faith.
Scientific innovation is the leader. The whole world turned that page to follow that page. Oh, children of Jah, children of Jah, children of Jah. Your system of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Your system of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel. Your system of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration. System of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel. Sin, the principle of the king is steady advancing. The whole thing still come down to one signature executive. Them could have named Prime Minister, Premier, President, or anything as a singular leadership for all.
The man a bugle me out and about
the system of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel.
Yo, you see anybody when don't know about that virgin, yeah? You see anybody who don't know about this virgin we are seeing today, may I tell you now. On a dip on a different planet.
Your system of peak out of world conscience.
Because this virgin has touched every topic there is to touch, you know.
System of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell.
Who give them people for sell?
Out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west?
Where leave I and I in the west? Where? We're asking that question.
System of peak out of world conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth.
Man said the system of peak out of world conscience. What that mean? Why you think to go to Rwanda?
Conscience. Selassie, I am knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out to give them people for
just because them silica wealth over there.
Man in the west. I Selassie, I the first of Ethiopia, say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel.
Europe not easy, man.
The principle of the king is steady advancing. The whole thing still come down to one signature executive. Them could have named Prime Minister, Premier, President, or anything as a singular leadership for cohesion purposes. It's whether them is democracy or republic, or some semblance of the two things intertwined. Them say them are capitalist, really a socialist. Your system of peak out of world conscience.
They say anybody who don't know about Van Benjamin.
Starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west?
So we are come to the end of the program.
Ethiopian say yes.
And it has sound like this is the first song we should have played, don't it? To address the situation.
The whole thing still come down to
well, nothing before the time.
Them coulda name Prime Minister, Premier, President.
We have about 10 more minutes in the building.
Cohesion purposes is whether them is democracy or republic, or some semblance of the two things intertwined. Them say them are capital, this really a socialist. When the government supplemental national industrial control it, universal human rights already spoken. Now humanize and civilize what your approach is. System up.
Them say the Virgin breach a whole for human rights laws.
Drink of the well, starting out.
And right here we're seeing Britain doing the same thing.
Black man in the west.
By turning away and say, boy, them have to send asylum seekers to somewhere else. When within the human rights treaty,
the whole thing still
you're supposed to take in the people and don't send them anywhere.
Minister, Premier, President.
You're supposed to deal with them when them arrive on your shores.
Is whether them is democracy or republic, or some semblance of.
So right there,
them say them are capital, this really is
England breaching that.
And supplemental national industrial control it. Universal human rights already spoken. Now humanize and civilize what your approach is. From the time them pen to paper laws with them goose quill, you can see where the Supreme Court show them prejudice. Your system a pick out a world conscience. Still I see I have knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out who give them people for sell.
Who did give them people for sell?
And in the west, highly still I see I the first of Ethiopia.
But here the boy say a life sentence to anybody who him catch. A traffic human beings.
Short-sighted, a state by state contagion is set.
Wow, hey, you see that there?
Pollution coincide with temperature.
That I go come back and bite them in a watch.
As portents in history are not to be played.
Life sentence, you know.
Economic conditions stagnated. Your concession at the podium are belated. How do you condemn a ripple effect on top of your own interest? Between rockstone and a hard place with damage to assess. Then all they got them grip in a selfishness yet. Forget the Africans in the youth about you gather your wealth. Yes.
Go on, Van, none of them no greater than you.
Say last year you have knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well.
One song I address everything that is happening here.
Where does that leave the black man in the west? Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel.
System peak out.
King is steady advancing. The whole thing still come down to one signature executive. Them could have named Prime Minister, Premier, President or anything as a singular leadership for cohesion purposes. Is whether them is democracy or republic.
Here Cameron come and big up the Virgin there.
Them say them are kept.
Tony Blair come and big him up.
When the government supplemental national industrial control it, universal human rights already spoken. Now humanize and civilize what your approach is. From the time them pen to paper laws with them goose quill, you can see where the Supreme Court show them prejudice. Your system a pick out a world conscience. Still I see I have knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out who give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia and say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel. Your immediate frame of reference is short-sighted. A state by state contagion is setting in. In Libya the revolution coincide with tempestuous weather conditions and a delayed ship. As portents in history are not to be played with socio-economic conditions stagnated. Your concession at the podium are belated. How do you condemn a ripple effect on top of your own interest? Between rockstone and a hard place with damage to assess. Then all they got them grip in a selfishness yet. Forget the Africans in the root of how you gather your wealth. Resources confiscated and people dispossessed and can't seem to get back their dignity yet.
Chavan, cha.
Conscience. Say last year you have knowledge.
I deal with the things, man.
Well, starting out to give them people for sell. Where does that leave the
man? I deal with the things, sir.
Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia and say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration, Israel. See?
Man, partial in a man.
King is steady advancing. The whole thing still come down to one signature executive. Them could have named Prime Minister, Premier, President or anything as a singular leadership for cohesion purposes. is whether them is democracy or republic, or some semblance of the two things intertwined. Them say them are capital, this really a socialist. When the government supplement all national industrial control it, universal human rights already spoke it. Now humanize and civilize what your approach is. From the time them pen to paper laws with them goose quill, you can see where the Supreme Court show them prejudice. Your system a pick out a world conscience. Selassie I have knowledge of wealth, so drink of the well. Starting out who give them people for sell. Where does that leave the black man in the west? Haile Selassie I the first of Ethiopia say yes. Watch the Middle East, vibration Israel. Your immediate frame of reference is short-sighted. A state-by-state contagion is setting in Libya, the revolution coincide with tempestuous weather conditions and a delayed ship. As portents in history are not to be played with socio-economic conditions stagnated. Your concession at the podium are belated. How do you condemn a ripple effect and topple your own interests? Between rockstone and a hard place with damage to assess. Then all I got them grip in a selfishness yet. Forget the Africans in the root of how you gather your wealth. Resources confiscated and people dispossessed, and can't seem to get back their dignity yet. Like the whole world ready for go down in a bad man flex. Disruption and blockage, email and text. You don't pay all your money and you still get disconnect. Have people there to figure out your habla dialect. I pressure the middle class out of tax to collect. Like them knock out the win out of the middle solar flex. How so much people are gonna take before people get vexed. Them see the volatility climate and buttons still a press. Not to mention the press, how them beat down the press. Rasta order would be humble and quickly issue address. Like how every day in a war and random dead. And anarchists I love it how the chaos a spread. Your system a peak out the world conscience. Say last year you have knowledge of wealth, so come drink up the well. Starting out who give them people be sell. Where does that leave the black man down here in the west? Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration Israel. Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia say yes. Watch the Middle East vibration Israel.
Mindset, family, manners and respect, you know. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Life, health and strength, you know. Peace and love. Rastafari.
That subscribe button. See you on the next video. I just got my mindset. Smash that subscribe button.